you. All right. So right out of the blocks, we've got technological difficulties. Okay, thanks, guys. So here we go. Okay, so I'm Denise. I'm Denise Toot, and we're going to get started. As I was saying, I know nobody could see my screen, but the new promotion is $199 to become an independent associate. As I was saying, the biggest difference between this and, thank you, love you too, between this and the normal, what we normally have to offer is you become a member for $99, and then you have to work your way up to be an independent associate. What this offers you is the sample kit, your ID nutrition, your first month of ID nutrition for free, and your business builder or your business kit, I should say. The business builder kit you can still get as usual for $399, and that includes the $500 worth of product. So this is a great opportunity for anybody who maybe doesn't have the $399 but wants to get in right away as an independent associate, which basically makes available to you all of the bonus money and entitles you to immediately start receiving bonuses and to get your product at a 30% discount, which is another big difference between this and the normal member offering. We have a couple of announcements. The medical panel, which for those of you who have not had the opportunity to view this, it's an my understanding is it's an absolutely incredible presentation. The next one's going to be Tuesday, January 6th at the Houston Marriott Hobby with the Canteras, Dr. Hansen, and Jennifer and Carla and AC Cantera will be moderating that. It's an absolutely incredible presentation, so you need to get there and get any of your medical clinicians, physicians, PAs, nurses, anybody within the medical community there to hear that. Okay, so Celebration Saturday is going to be January 10th at 10 a.m. If you are serious about your business, you need to be at this event, and you need to have everybody that you know at this event as well. This is going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to be a great way to start the new year. There's going to be surprise guests. Logan Stout will be there, Keith Kraft, and Lisa Hart. Again, that's January 10th at 10 a.m. at Elevate Life Church, not at the main office, so remember that. Also, if you are not able to attend in person, please consider hosting a live simulcast event at your home. Actually, one host will win a private coaching session with Logan Stout. So you want to email at events@IDLife.com, your party, your location to be entered in to win that coaching session, which is worth its weight in gold. ID Revolution, you've absolutely got to be at ID Revolution. This is going to be in the spring. Right now it's $99. You can register in your back office. April 9th through the 12th, Troy Aikman will be there because football season will be over. Keith Kraft, Logan Stout, John Maxwell. Even if you have people interested in the business, consider getting them a ticket to this because it will absolutely change your business. It will change your life in terms of personal development, and you and everyone on your team needs to be there. This will be in Fort Worth at the Omni there, so get registered if you aren't already. Also, the golf tournament, which will be with John Maxwell, you want to make sure and register for that as soon as possible, and that's going to be on April 9th. It will go fast, but it will be a very, very exclusive and exciting event with lots of personal development opportunities. So make sure and get registered for that. Also, do you have an amazing recipe using IDLife products that you want to share? Please, please, please do that. We're going to have an official corporate cookbook, and it will be in the IDLife news and the first magazine. Send your recipes to Haley Thompson, whose email address is there. So, and I've tasted a lot of great recipes, so please get those in if you have one. Be sure and include even alcohol-containing recipes. Just kidding. Okay. The top 10 incentive trip, this is going to be announced at Celebration Saturday, the winners of this trip. As everyone knows, Darwin Deason is one of our investors and owns one of the nicest yachts in the world called the Apogee. And as a result, one of the exclusive trips that is being offered to the top 10 money earners at IDLife will be a trip on this yacht, which will be absolutely incredible. So my understanding is that the positions are not yet secured. So if you're making a run for this, you still have a few more days to do so. To get on the Apogee, should be an amazing time. Okay, moving on. Top 50 money earners. These are the people that are in the running for the Apogee trip. They're listed in alphabetical order. If you want to screenshot that, I'll keep it up for a second. But all of these people, whether everyone on this trip, obviously only 10 people are going to make the trip, but all of these people should be commended. They are amazing leaders and have worked extraordinarily hard this year from January to December. So congratulations to the top 50 money earners. Next Gen Drive for Cash. This is for associates that are 29 years old or below. You must attend ID Revolution in Fort Worth in order to receive your prize. The contest dates run 9/20 through 2/28. The top 10 point earners are going to receive cold hard cash from Logan Stout or possibly Joe O'Connor, I don't know which, on stage. So your points reward worksheet is in the back office, and you can see how you earn points for that. Okay, so here is the Next Gen Top 25 point earners to date. So congratulations to everybody that is on this list. I see some familiar names, so congratulations. All right. Many have already qualified for this free cruise. For those of you who don't know, IDLife offers 2 incentive trips a year, which is incredible. I was in pharmaceutical sales for 15 years, and we never got 2 trips, so it's really incredible that they offer this. This will be the trip of a lifetime, Freedom of the Seas cruise, and it will be May 17th through the 24th, and it will be 7 nights, Eastern Caribbean cruise. So all of this is listed in your back office, but here's how the points work. Many, many people have already qualified, as was stated before. So I'll leave this up, but it's also in your back office. And here's how you earn the points for the trip. We've already had 1 month of double point earning, so I don't know if we'll have any more of those, but this is how you earn the points for the trip. And here are the top 100 point earners as of Christmas Eve. Here we go. I'll leave these up for a minute. Dr. Davis, Dr. Dillon are well above the points needed to earn their free trip. And as you can see, this is absolutely doable. So I see Dana Cantera, Randy Swain, the Lemons, Dr. Hanson. Congratulations. I'm going to keep going here. So here's down to Laura Andrews. Congratulations, Laura, and Jimmy Dowd. A lot of familiar names on the trip, a lot of people that have been on the trips in the past and know how incredible the opportunity to not only build your business, but to be on these trips with the executives. It's a really incredible opportunity. So everybody really needs to work to make this trip, and the cruise will be especially fun. So here we go down to 47 points. I see Darlene on there. Congratulations. So here we go. Next page. Down to 41 points. I'll give you guys a second to screenshot that. I see Ty on there, Leah. So congratulations to everybody on this page as well. Amy Myers with 46. Mike Williams with 47, and down to 36 points here. So all of these associates are well on their way to earning the free cruise, or at least earning their way onto the cruise. So keep up the good work, and if you're not yet in these point totals, you want to get there because it's an absolutely incredible time. Okay, so here we go. We're going to talk about the compensation plan, and it's obviously a lot of numbers. It's a lot of information, so I don't want anybody to be overwhelmed. I think I'm recording this if I did it properly, which is going to be a 50-50 chance that that happened, but it'll be available in the back office to review. But the incredible thing about IDLife and how we're paid, it is an extraordinarily generous compensation plan. I know that compensation plans can sometimes be confusing, but I tell people all the time that I don't know of anybody in a traditional job that does not know to the penny what is owed to them and what they have earned. And so, in my opinion, it's critical that you gain a great understanding of our compensation plan, because nothing pains me more than to see money left on the table every month, and it happens, and oftentimes it's just simply because people don't know. And so what I want to try to do tonight is give you a very general overview of the compensation plan, although there will be some specifics as well. But I want you to just have a really good understanding of the terms, of how we're paid. And again, it's a good thing. We're paid 14 different ways. Some of those payments occur weekly, some of them occur monthly. As you can see on this slide, the weekly payouts come in the form of the Fast Start bonus. That is a timed bonus. You must achieve that in your first 30 days in order to receive it, and we're going to talk about what the Fast Start bonus is. There's also another timed bonus, which is the Fast Start bonus 2. That can be earned in your first 60 days. Business Builder bonus, which we'll talk about. There is no limit to how many Business Builder bonuses you can earn. Those are also paid weekly, as well as retail commissions. And I want to pause for a minute on retail commissions, because I want everybody to understand, as we go through this, the importance of customer acquisition. I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm just not making any money back. And I know that I use this analogy a lot, but IDLife, we are literally building a plane while we're taking off down the runway. So what's occurred in the past 12 months, in my mind, is nothing short of extraordinary. And so I think people sometimes look at either trying to build their business or build customers, but sometimes find it difficult to do both. And I want everybody to understand that retail commissions, and I have on there that it's 20 to 30%, because understand that if a customer decides to be a customer that orders every single month, or what we call a preferred customer, you're going to make a 20% commission on that person. If it's somebody that is just going to maybe make a one-time order, you're going to earn a 30% commission. We want people to be returning customers every month, and but it's incredibly important to understand that as a result of retail commissions and people going to your website and ordering as customers, you can make a very healthy living doing that, and understand that that then becomes weekly cash flow. I know Randy Swain makes a ton of money every week because he has so many customers that every single week he's making $200 to $300 in retail commissions. So please don't underestimate the importance of that. The other thing that occurs with retail commissions is by customer acquisition, you are also accomplishing several other goals. Your 3 and free, which we're going to talk about. You're also going to be getting points for the incentive trip. And it's just incredibly important to get customers. And I do think it's possible to do both, to acquire customers and to build a legacy organization in the process. But you need to teach your team to acquire customers as well. It's incredibly important. Okay, monthly payments. We're paid our residual income bonus, which we'll talk about, our residual matching bonus, which we'll talk about, the matching retail bonus. And what that is, and this astounds me, is what the company has said is over here, you know, because you're getting basically 10% cut out of your commissions for people who become preferred customers, what this retail matching bonus is the company has said, okay, once you get $1,000 in preferred customer business, and that can be any product. It could be people ordering sleep strips every month. It can be people ordering ID Nutrition. It's a combination of all of your retail business preferred. Once you hit $1,000, they actually give you the 10% back in a retail matching bonus. And I will tell you, I've earned this, and I know several people on the team have, and it's just an incredible bonus. And it's incredible to me that they do it because most companies don't. All right, so volume match bonus is paid monthly. Global pool bonus, which we will talk about, is paid monthly. Rank advancement bonus, car allowance bonus. Okay, and then we also have additional incentive payouts through the 3 and free, which is the ability for you to earn your ID Nutrition for free every month. We also have the opportunity to earn a second order of ID Nutrition for free every month by acquiring 10 customers in preferred business and ID Nutrition. And then we have the incentive trips, which are paid out twice a year. And just so you understand, for anybody that might be new that's on the conference call, in your back office, you will always see 2 checks. One will reflect a rolling amount, which is your monthly residual. And something I think maybe people don't understand is as you promote during the month, so let's say you hit your senior director rank and then your executive director rank, each time you hit a new rank, you're going to see this monthly check drop more so than you do on a daily basis because you're unlocking additional levels of residual income that are available to you. So this shows you everything reflected in your monthly check. This shows you everything reflected in your weekly check. The weekly check is paid every Friday. So the following week, it will obviously start back at 0. The monthly commission is paid on the 15th of every month. I also want people to pay attention to the word projected. I know that oftentimes you may see a number reflected in your check, but when the actual commissions come out on the 15th, it might be a little lower. It might be a little higher. Woohoo! But when it's lower, what that means is there is a reconciliation period from, for example, the 31st of the month to the 15th. That's a 2-week period where returns are processed and where they're actually going through and reconciling to make sure that the payouts are correct, and we want that. We want to have those checks and balances. So understand that that's sometimes what can happen. And if you ever have questions, you can always call our amazing customer and associate support line because they're incredible and they'll be able to answer your questions. Okay. So moving on, talking about the fast start bonus and the 3 and free. This slide, when I originally created it, was actually to show you how quickly you can get a return on your initial investment. I tell everybody all the time, for $399, which is your initial investment when we're not running the $199 special, but let's just pretend like we don't have that special right now. So for $399, when you join IDLife as an associate, you are getting really well over $500 worth of product because you're going to get your starter kit of products, which includes a variety of products that we have to offer, but you're also going to get your first month of ID Nutrition for free. So for $399, essentially, you are now CEO of YOU. So you are a small business owner and entitled to many of the tax advantages that small business owners have. I also like to pause and say we are 1099 employees, meaning taxes are not deducted from your check. So, you know, we like to really consider ourselves to teach fiscal responsibility. And one thing that I'd really like to encourage people to do that are on the call tonight is to get with an accountant and understand that it might be a great idea to go ahead when you're paid and hold back, you know, whatever tax bracket you're in, you know, maybe hold back 30% or whatever that number is, so that in April you're not scrambling to pay your taxes, because you will receive a 1099 from the company. So while you have tax advantages for being a small business owner, you also have tax consequences for the income that you've received. So I like to always just, you know, remind people of that. So anyway, moving on. Shiny ball. Okay. So here we go. Fast start bonus. What that is in your first 30 days, when you get on ID Nutrition, and let me say, when you get yourself on ID Nutrition, you need to be a preferred customer in order for this bonus to be initiated. So you get on ID Nutrition Preferred, and you get one more customer, okay? Understand that that can be a household customer. So for me, it was my 14-year-old daughter, okay? She was my very first customer. The minute that happens, and I encourage you to do this, within the hour of signing up, get your first customer, because what that does is that immediately triggers a $100 check back to you, okay? This customer has to be on ID Nutrition, and it has to be preferred. So that immediately triggers a check to you for $100. So now you're already starting to pay back your initial investment. When you get 2 more customers preferred on ID Nutrition, your ID Nutrition is then free. We count that as a $100 value in this example, okay? When you get your next 6 customers, if you do that within 60 days, you're going to trigger a $200 bonus. That's your second fast start bonus, okay? And then this shows 20% commission on 9 customers. You'll notice in the numbers that you'll see tonight in my slides, I am very conservative in the numbers. I want it to be realistic for people. So just in this example, if you were able to accomplish this, let's say in your first month, you will have earned $580, okay? That is paying back to you your initial investment of $399. So now you're already making money in your IDLife business. A question that I get a lot of questions around 3 and free. One of them is, understand that this is a minimum. In order to get 3 and free, you must have a minimum of 3 customers, okay? And it must be a minimum of $300 in wholesale volume, okay? Wholesale volume is basically what's reflected in your PV. So if you're going to your customers and you're looking at whatever their scheduled delivery amount is, and you're adding that up and it's $300, understand that that's a retail amount. We're looking at wholesale numbers here, okay? So it's a minimum of 3 customers and a minimum of $300. Now, it might be that it takes 6 customers ordering $50 a month. However those numbers work out, it's a minimum of 3 ordering a minimum of $300 to achieve that. The next question I get is around what's reflected in your PV, because now if you're getting your ID Nutrition for free, what about your PV, which is what you were ordering? Well, where your ID Nutrition is concerned, and understand that when your ID Nutrition is free, your ID Nutrition could have cost $150 a month. It's free. But what's going to be reflected in your PV is $100. The company's going to show $100 in PV for your ID Nutrition order. Even though you're not paying for that, they're still giving you the advantage of that $100 in your PV. So I get that question a lot, so I thought I would address it. Okay, why isn't my screen moving? Oh, I got to click on it. Okay. Don't get caught up in this worksheet. I really wanted to show it just mainly to let you know that it's there, that we can get you a copy of it. This is just a summary sheet of what you need in order to rank advance at the company. It also lists key terms. Something I want to focus on, because we're going to be talking about commissionable volume, is CV, okay? So commissionable volume, which is right here, total qualifying volume is basically the accumulation of all of the PVs on your team, basically. It's the wholesale amount in totality of everything that you are doing and everything that your team is doing, okay? TQV is a number that we use strictly for rank advancement purposes. That's it. It's one of the metrics that we use to qualify for rank advancements, and we're glad that they use the wholesale number for that, okay? But, and understand, and I need to back up, because wholesale is 70% of retail. So in other words, if you have a customer that orders a $100 retail sale, the wholesale amount of that is going to be $70. That's what you're going to see reflected in your PV and in your TQV, okay? But there's also another number that we pay commissions on, and that's commissionable volume. And so I don't want people to get confused. This is showing right here. So commissionable volume is actually 75% of the wholesale purchase. So here's an example. Like I said, $100 retail is the equivalent of $70 in wholesale. But in commissionable volume, that number is $52.50, because it's 75% of 70. Okay, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. I want everybody to understand that 75% of wholesale, that's what we're commissioned on, is probably the most generous commissionable volume in any direct selling company, and I have looked at a lot of plans. You never see that. You never see that. People will say, oh, but I found a company that pays, 8%, and, we're only paying 5%, which I'll get into that in a minute. But you always have to ask yourself, 8% of what? Because most people are not even willing to publish their commissionable volume because it's a ridiculous number. And ours is beyond generous. So the fact that we're commissioned on that, I just want to take a moment and say thank you to Logan Stout and the team for that, because it is very generous. PV is your personal volume. Active, for an associate to be active, they have to maintain $100 in PV to be considered active and to receive commissions from their downline. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. And we'll get into some of these other numbers as well. But that really is explaining what the rank advancement summary sheet is. Okay, so I also added this little tidbit down here at the bottom. I broke down what you need to generate in TQV daily in order to achieve the different ranks. And I have it there for 30 days and for 31. I didn't do it for 28 days because February only happens once a year. Okay, so now this is the bread and butter of our commission plan. This is the monthly residual income. So understand that when I was saying 8% before, this is what I'm talking about. This is if you choose to build an organization at IDLife, and understand that a lot of people choose to just retail our product, and that is perfectly fine too. You can make a very, very good living doing that. But this is if you choose to to actually build an organization and the overrides that you can receive in the different levels of your organization, okay? So, so what we have here, and I've given an example, there's 10 levels that you're paid in the monthly residual income. Now, it's actually higher than that when you consider dynamic compression, because what dynamic compression means is, for example, if you have somebody on level 3 who has $0 in PV that month, they're actually going to dynamically compress out of your organization for that month, and everybody will move up a level. So if you have people down in level 11, 12, 13, they'll actually move up and you will receive payment on them. So again, another just ridiculously generous offering from this compensation plan. So when you look at this, these are the different ranks that are available at IDLife, and just understand that this is a natural progression. In other words, you wouldn't be at managing director with 10 levels of income, most likely. You're going to be right at about the number of levels available to you as you promote up through these ranks. So here's an example. If you have 10 customers personally that are ordering a $100 average retail order, you're going to make $20 on them, and the income per month on that will be $200, okay? Now, if you have associates in your first level, each of them get 10 customers, and again, as I said before, these are very conservative estimates. So let's say each of those customers get each of those associates get 30 customers. Here's where that commissionable volume comes into play. So it would be 30 customers times 5,250 times 5%, okay, which is right here. That's your level 1, for a total of 7875. Level 2, level 3, you can see as it goes along. Now understand that all of this is added together for a total of $1,082 a month. So, so that's just if you get 3 associates who get 3 associates who get 3 associates, and everybody gets 10 customers. I would submit to you that this is not a difficult task. I will also submit to you that it never works out like this. Never. It just doesn't. It just doesn't always work out like this. So this is just an example. You may have, 4 associates here who get, half of them get 10 customers and half of them get 15. So this is just for illustration purposes. But you can see how that adds up. And as you promote and rank and additional levels become available to you, that residual monthly income number adds up very, very quickly. Something I want you to consider, this 10 levels of income, when we talk about residual match, this is what we're talking about. So the people that are underneath you, and this is the example here, the residual matching bonus, for those of you who don't know what that is, a lot of companies in direct sales have what's called coding out, or there's another term that they use for it, but coding out is one of the most common that are used for that. And what that means is if you personally sponsor somebody into the business and they achieve the rank that you're at or succeed you, in other words, breakaway. Thank you, Jason Cherry. Coding out or breakaways. So let's say that I personally sponsor Laura Andrews, which I have. If Laura, and let's say that I'm an executive director. In most network marketing companies, what would happen is when Laura, who I personally sponsored, reached the rank of executive director or higher, anything that she does past the rank that I'm at, I would no longer get compensated for. Okay? Well, our company basically turns that upside down and says not only Are we not going to have coding out or breakaways? That we are going to reward you significantly for bringing in basically superstars into this business. Because what ends up happening with breakaways and coding out is people will tend to not get superstars into the business right away. So what this does is this says anybody that you have front line to you, regardless of whether they reach your rank or surpass you, you're going to get a 20% matching bonus. So in other words, if Laura Carney, who's front line to me, is earning, we'll just use it right here, $10,000 in residual income, my match on her would be 20% of that, or $2,000, okay? And then for my second recruit, Laura Andrews, if she's earning $5,000 in residual income, I'm going to earn a $1,000 matching residual bonus. So what this means is anybody front line to you, if you have, let's say, 10 people front line to you, understand that in these matching bonuses, each one of those 10 frontline associates represents a separate stream of cash flow or income where these bonuses are concerned. And here's why. What our company does is as you promote, you're always going to get with the residual match a 20% bonus on your frontline personally sponsored associates. But what our system does is it then, as you promote, goes through, and understand that you have to be regional director or higher to be eligible for this match. And the people that you earn a matching bonus on also have to be regional director or above in order for you to earn that residual match. But what happens is as you continue to promote, so when you promote from regional to director or regional director to managing director, it then will go through, I'll earn my 20% on Laura Carney, and then what it's going to do is it's going to go through and find the next regional director in Laura Carney's organization, and it's going to pull them up to my very first generation. So this is not levels, it's generations. Our system sweeps each of your lines to look for anybody that's a regional director or above, and it pulls them up to these additional generations. You are paid a matching residual when you get to the level of executive director on up to 4 generations for each line that you have. This is a ridiculous amount of money that it ends up being, but more importantly, what this does is it fosters a spirit of helping other people achieve their goals. I cannot tell you, this compensation plan was so deliberately designed in an effort to ensure that selfish people really are not going to succeed here. If you are all about yourself and how can I make the most money, I will promise you this is not the organization for you. Because where you really stand the chance to earn life-changing money are in these residual and volume matching bonuses that are in place in an effort to help you, help to develop people underneath you and to help them achieve their goals. And it goes back to the Zig Ziglar saying of, if you help enough people get what they want, then you get what you want. And so what it does is it really encourages that type of support for your team. This is the volume match bonus. This is basically the same bonus, but it's paid on volume, not on residual income. So, for example, if you're first regional director above, now understand this doesn't go through personally sponsored. It just starts with your first generation. You must be an executive director to qualify for this bonus, but it's paid on anybody that reaches the rank of regional director or above. So let's say I'm an executive director. Okay, it's going to go through each of my personally sponsored lines. So let's say that Laura Carney, for example, is not a regional director yet. It's still going to sweep her line and look for anybody else that is a regional director or above. Laura Carney's actually national director, so she's well above that. But it's going to actually go through and it's going to sweep. Now, you'll notice that this may seem to you like a small percentage of 2%. It actually is not, because what it's doing is it's basing it on the commissionable volume. So, for example, let's say Laura Carney, again, we'll use her as an example. I was paid a residual match on her of $2,000. In this bonus, it's going to go right back to her, and that $10,000, I'm pointing at my screen instead of using the cursor, that $10,000 in residual income was based off of $200,000 in commissionable volume, okay? So what it's actually going to do is give me a bonus of 2% on that commissionable volume for $4,000. So understand that just on Laura Carney in this example, I'm going to earn every single month basically $6,000 because I'm going to earn $2,000 here in the residual, and then when it sweeps through to find the volume, I'm going to earn an additional $4,000. So my point, and I don't want to belabor it, is this. When you begin to build and create leaders within your organization, deep within your organization, you will be paid handsomely for doing that. So it is well worth your time to not think about going extraordinarily wide right off the bat, but maybe start small. Maybe get five people frontline to you. And what you want to do is help those 5 people get 5 people, and help their 5 people get 5 people. And to really, really, really lock arms with those underneath you and build a very deep organization. That is where you're going to maximize this compensation plan. It's just a fact. You can always go wide. If you go too wide too early, and what I mean by that is if you go out and you personally sponsor 15 frontline associates, you now have 15 new people that are all wanting to go out and sponsor 15 new people, and that becomes, very large. But if you start with 5 and you just help them to develop and grow, you will be rewarded very, very well for that. One other thing I want to point out is here you'll notice that it goes 20%, so it starts big, and it goes down to 5% in the 4th generation. Here it starts smaller, you're paid 2%, and then it gets larger down to 4%. And so what this means is it pays to go deep, to support people that maybe are not just your front line. If you have a runner or somebody that's doing it very, very well that maybe is 3 or 4 levels deep to you, that shouldn't matter. You need to support them. You need to reach down, pull them up, and help them any way that you can to achieve their goals, and you in turn will achieve yours. Okay. Here are the different ranks at IDLife and what the total qualifying volume for each of those ranks are. Also what the personal volume is. Something I want to point out here, and for anybody that's new or who may have come from another organization, the very most in personal volume that you have to have at IDLife at the top of our ranking scale is $500, okay? There are a lot of companies that require you to invest a whole lot of capital in inventory in order to receive your paycheck. We don't do that here. In fact, PV at IDLife is actually a combination of anything that you are personally ordering yourself or any retail sales. So essentially, you could never order a single IDLife product, but let's say you have 5 customers ordering $500 in wholesale, you're going to qualify at the very top level of the organization. So I don't ever recommend that. I think you should be a product of the product, particularly with our products, because they're absolutely, bar none, the best products on the market. But it's just a fact that that's not what we do at IDLife. This is the absolute most that you ever have to achieve the highest rank. Now, I would submit to you that you'd like for this number to be very large because, again, that goes back to weekly cash flow. It goes back to qualifying you for 3 and free, 10 and free, etc. But understand that this is anything that you personally order and anything that any customer who goes on your website and orders. That is how PV is calculated, okay? So another one of the 14 ways that we are paid are rank advancement bonus, car allowance bonus, and global pool bonus. I am a huge advocate of getting to national director as quickly as you can at this company for several reasons. But at national director, it really opens you up to every bonus that is offered and every one of the 14 ways that we're paid at IDLife. At national director is really, it's a great achievement. And so rank advancement bonuses, these are a one-time bonus paid to you in the month. This requires you to be this rank for 2 consecutive months, okay? Once you achieve executive director for 2 months in a row, you will get a one-time rank advancement bonus of $750. Same at national. All of these require that you be at that rank for 2 consecutive months to be paid at that rank, if that makes sense. Now, understand that on these bonuses here, the residual match bonus and the volume match bonus, you can go in and out of qualification for those. In other words, you know, when you hit regional director, it automatically qualifies you for the matching bonus. If you don't hit it the next month, you're not going to qualify, but you don't have to be regional director for 2 months in a row in order to qualify for that. The minute you hit regional director, you qualify for the residual match bonus. Same with volume match. If you don't hit executive director 2 months in a row, it's okay. You're going to get the volume match the very first month that you hit executive director. But this does require you for these 3 bonuses to be at that rank for 2 consecutive months. So at national director, your rank advancement bonus is $1,250, but now you also begin to receive the car allowance bonus. And in addition to that, you are now eligible for the global pool bonus. Right now, obviously, this is a national pool bonus because we aren't global yet. Another reason why I highly encourage people to get to the national director rank as quickly as possible, because here's what I want to try to impress upon you is we have such a unique opportunity. We are a startup company. We are in at the beginning, and currently IDLife is offered in the 50 United States and Puerto Rico. So what that means is the day that we go global, when that happens, anybody that is sitting at this rank is immediately eligible for the global pool bonus, and any sales commissionable volume that occur in other countries. If you're sitting here, you're going to get a piece of that pie. So the other thing I like to point out here on global pool bonus is this is additive. So in other words, and we'll see this in the example. Don't I have an example? Oh, I guess I don't. Oh, sorry, I guess that slide didn't make it in. So this is 2% of worldwide commissionable volume. Oh, I'm really sad that slide didn't make it in. But it's 2% of worldwide commissionable volume. So that's actually split up and distributed among everybody that's ranked national director or higher. So what they do is they take that number, they split it, and it's distributed to everybody sitting in that pool, which would be anybody ranked here or higher. 34% of that is distributed to all national directors. 26% of the 2% of commissionable volume worldwide is distributed to vice presidential directors. But here's what I want you to understand. If you're a national presidential director, when you get your paycheck for that month, it's going to actually include 1, 2, 3, 4 different global pool payouts, because you never lose these earlier ranks. So you're going to still get your 34%. You're going to get your 26%, 18%, because if you add these numbers up, it equals 100%. So that by the time you're global presidential director, you effectively are qualified for your share of 100% of the 2% of the worldwide commissionable volume. That is ridiculous. Just saying, it's ridiculous. So get to national director as quickly as possible. Now, I say you have to be there for 2 consecutive months. If you, for example, hit national director for 2 consecutive months, you're going to get your car allowance bonus of $500. If you fall out of national director the next month, you're going to get half of your car allowance bonus. So they're going to give you a little reprieve, and they're going to still give you $250. However, if you don't qualify the next month as national director, you're going to have to start over. So it's very important to have momentum and to continue to work moving forward towards achieving these additional ranks. Okay, so here's some pictures from the incentive trips, which are just a ton of fun. I can't express it enough. The fellowship at IDLife is just, it's a family, and it's amazing. So you guys really need to get on this cruise ship. I do too. I'm talking to myself when I say you guys. Okay, car bonus. The really cool thing about IDLife is when you receive your car allowance bonus, you are not required to go out and buy a silver, black, or white Mercedes, Lexus, or BMW. You get to choose whatever car you want. It's individually designed, just like our company. So, you know, if you want to pay off a car that you have, do that. Pocket the money moving forward. You know, again, fiscal responsibility, I think, is super important, but you can get whatever kind of car you want, whatever best represents you. You're not required to do any specific type of car. Okay, so this is what we were talking about the global pool. Is the worldwide volume is shared. I just got a question about how I mentioned falling out of one of these ranks. What I mean by falling out of a rank would mean that you just didn't qualify. So if we go back to, for example, let me just go here. Okay, this slide here shows what you have to qualify as national director. Okay, $400 in personal volume, $25,000 in total qualifying volume, 5 active legs, 10,000 TTV max per leg. What that means, and I didn't go over this, is you are only allowed to take, everybody's going to have a power leg. In other words, people are going to, you may personally sponsor 5 people. One person may just be a total and complete rock star, for lack of a better word. They may just go, you know, bonkers, and they may just create a ton of TTV within your organization. We need to have a balanced organization. So what that means is if this $25,000 in total qualifying volume, they're only going to allow 10,000 from that power leg, or 40% can come. Now, 60% can come from the rest of your organization, but it's trying to create a balance among your organization, which is extremely important. So it also opens you up to 7 levels of paid residual income and residual match and all of that. So this is everything that you receive, but these are the metrics that you have to be qualified. Let me say one other thing about active legs. Let's say that you have 5 people that you've personally sponsored, and remember, an active leg requires that somebody have $100 or more in personal volume. Okay, if For example, Laura Carney, I personally sponsor. Let's say that she does not have $100 in personal volume, but somebody that she sponsored does have $100 in personal volume. That actually makes that leg active. So, and it tells you that in your back office. When you get on and you look at your organization, it'll let you know how many active legs you have. That's a webinar for another day. But so that's what I mean by falling out. Okay, so that is all I have. I apologize that it went a little bit longer than I had thought it might, but I know it's a lot of information, but I hope at least you can get something from it, or maybe it cleared up a few things. Please feel free to email me or contact me or your upline if you have additional questions about compensation. Again, I know it's a lot of information, but I really appreciate everybody's time tonight, and I hope that everybody has an amazing New Year, that you all had a Merry Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year at Celebration Saturday. So good night, everybody. Thank you again. Bye-bye.